Well, as the sun sets here in Geelong, it was an incredible elite men's UCI World Road Championships, and it was Tor Hushovd, the God of Thunder as he's known, powering up the finishing straight to take the first rainbow jersey for the Norwegian rider. Matty Breschel from Denmark finished very strongly in second, and it was our Aussie Alan Davis that held on for the bronze medal, so great result there for Australia as well. And Cadell Evans did a fantastic job at trying to defend his rainbow jersey that he won last year in Mandrizia. I'm joined here by the UCI, or the International Cycling Union President, Pat McQuaid. You must be a very happy man.
Extremely happy. I mean, it's been an absolutely wonderful World Championships, and many of my colleagues, many of my friends who have come out from Europe watched the race today, and they said to me at the end of it all, they said it's the best World Championship road race, elite road race, that they've seen in 12 or 15 years.
Well, it was also the first time ever that it started and finished in different places, starting in Melbourne, going up over the Westgate Bridge, and then the circuits here down in Geelong. Will this happen again, or...?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something we're trying to do in order to give more, to spread and create more economic value for where the World Road Championships go. But it's a risky situation, and we were under a little bit of pressure as that breakaway group, was going something like 15, 20 minutes up, coming onto the circuit, which meant there was a possibility that the bunch, when they arrived in the circuit, could be lapped, and that would cause problems. But as it turned out, the riders put their heads down in the main peloton, coming towards Geelong, and it all worked out very well in the end, and it was a superb. From the moment they arrived on the circuit, the racing started, and it just went all the way right to the finish. And it was a great advertisement for our sport, and a great advertisement for cycling and cycling in Australia in particular.
Well, it wasn't just about the Elite Championship. I guess the racing did start back on Wednesday with the Elite under 23 time trial, then the women's time trial, both their road races also. Overall, Australia, how did we fare?
Australia fared extremely well. I mean, it's obvious there's a huge cycling culture in Australia. There's a huge sports culture in Australia. We all know that. But these championships, when we decided 4 years ago to give it to Melbourne and Geelong, we took a risk because it had never been out this part of the world before. But it was a very, very good decision, and I think it's paid off in no uncertain terms. Australia has warmed to the World Cycling Championships. They've organised it very well, very high level of organisation, and we got wonderful events, and all week long it's been good. All week long the crowds have been bigger in effect in the early races than normally we would get in Europe. But I mean, I've heard figures of 150, 160,000 quoted here today, and it wouldn't surprise me because that circuit was magnificent, and the images of Australia and the images of Geelong and Melbourne that went all across the world today were excellent images of sunshine and of the beach and of, the sea and the countryside and the public out enjoying themselves.
Well, look, thank you, Pat McQuaid, President of the UCI. Thanks to the UCI for bringing the event here to Australia. And with crowd figures bigger than the AFL Grand Final on their replay, I'm sure we'll be very happy and hopefully looking forward sometime in the near future for the championships coming back to Australia.